What's up, everybody?
What's up, everyone?
Welcome to the Moral Combat Podcast.
Moral Combat Podcast.
Video cast.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Nathan.
I'm Zach.
And this is the podcast where we talk about comedy. We talk about news. Current events. Security.
What is it from Step Brothers?
Step Brothers. Security. Worldwide.
What is it? Something worldwide.
Yeah.
It's the Catalina wine mixer.
It's that damn Catalina wine mixer. Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
That's what it is. Prestige. Security.
Doer in the bottom while I'm drinking sangria.
Step Brothers, if you haven't seen it, go turn this off immediately. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's great.
Honestly, educate yourself.
I'll probably have to watch it tonight. I'm worried about Atmore walking through, but that's good.
We are at the end. If you're listening, then you're going to listen to my voice right now. If you're watching, then you're going to watch me talking to the mic right now. What I'm about to tell you is we are in the garage of our podcast studio, because that's where the podcast studio is, and we have the door wide open so that we can see into the garden. Beautiful sunlight with a nice breeze. It is currently September 3rd at about 4:30 p.m. for us here in Northern California, and no complaints for us in Northern California.
Yeah, Northern California.
We'll get into that later, because today's episode is just shooting the shit.
Yeah, we're shooting the shit. We didn't even actually explain what our podcast was actually about. We went into a joke.
But that's because we're shooting the shit today.
We're shooting the shit today, okay.
We are a podcast that talks about religious trauma.
Yes.
Or just trauma, like childhood trauma, parental trauma. It seems like all of us as humans have some form of trauma from being alive.
Totally.
It's like part of the recipe.
I'm definitely starting to learn that the older I get.
Yep.
That life's just about figuring out how you were traumatized.
Some people might be like, why would you talk about your trauma? You're just beating a,
dead horse.
Dead horse. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you beating a dead horse.
Those sayings are so brutal.
So stupid.
So brutal. It's just like,
who beats dead horses?
It's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. It's like, what? You're killing two birds?
Dude, why are you throwing stones at birds?
Why? What did the birds do?
Yeah, what did they do to you guys?
Yeah, it's like kicking a dead horse in the face while it's bleeding out. No.
No, please. Something else.
But we believe that the conversation is healing.
Well, in religious trauma is just a lot. It's an intense thing to unfold. And when you're unfolding it in your 30s, going into your 30s, late 20s, and you're figuring out how different you were brought up than majority of the people around you who weren't raised evangelical.
Yeah.
That you start to realize how traumatized you are in certain aspects of your life. And if you're interested at all, if that even shows you an interest, you can go listen to some podcasts in the earlier seasons. Last episode, we talked about how we still have relationships with our parents. And we answered some really hard questions about what it's like still having evangelicals strongly following the faith and now politics in the family. And that's very difficult. And you can go to episode 50. The big 50, we did that.
Yeah, and if you don't go back and watch it, let me just give you a little spoiler alert of the lesson that was learned last week around having religious family members. Boundaries.
Yes.
Period. The whole episode, boundaries.
It's true.
Hard to do.
It is hard to do.
But yeah, we did. We dove into it was an interesting conversation last week. It was really good. It was a fun one because I edit the long cast and Zach does all of the short stuff, content. And we have talked a lot about how when you are talking about your own personal experience around family issues or trauma on a public podcast, and then you go back and edit it yourself, it's kind of like a double therapy because you're like getting it out on the table with your family member.
Yeah.
And some of the things you're saying on camera might be, you're feeling insecure, you're nervous, we're figuring it out.
Totally.
We're literally figuring it out. And then no matter how it looks, we're posting it online. And so editing it can be like, wow, that was like, it felt this way, but it looks this way. And I've learned this now. And
isn't that weird?
It's so
how
weird.
It feels one way to say something, but then it feels a different way to watch yourself say it.
it's really weird. And I've also noticed that some of the conversations we have, they're really good to have, but I would never want to have them again.
Oh, no, never.
You want to know what's so great, right? It's like if we had the same conversation over and over, it'd be like, what is with these victims? But I feel like because the conversations we're talking about are parents, and everyone has parents, but everyone's kind of like, dude, get over it, man. They're your parents. They're old. Just let them live. It's like, right, but no.
Mm-mm.
And so that's the thing is I think there's a lot of people who have, when you have such strong contrasting differences in your family, that's our experience. Like such strong lines that are drawn of like, how then do you, and it's totally possible. That's why we had that conversation. And it was really great. But in the end, boundaries.
Yeah. Keeping a relationship. Boundaries.
Yeah. All
boundaries,
around.
Period.
With the last handful of podcasts, we've been kind of just shooting the shit, or we talked about something heavy here. But ever since we watched that Jesus Camp documentary,
sparked.
We were totally burnt out. And then last week was a great conversation. And then.
Oh, and I'm just going to put it out there. We actually formulated an email. I thought
we said it last week.
Yeah, we did. We sent it. We
did it last week.
We made an email and we sent it out to the directors. They are a lot more. They do a lot. They've done a lot more.
Yeah, this is old. They've done like 10 things.
Yeah, and they've
films.
They've been very well recognized now for their amazing director, producer abilities in these documentaries. And so the odds of them hitting us up to be on our podcast for free
are very high because it's us and we're amazing.
No, dude, we sent an email to the directors and we're just hoping they come on. I think they're gonna have a great time. I think it would be great.
A lot of this for Zach and I is just doing things. It's like being together, sitting down and accomplishing goals is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And that's...
we don't, because it's like, dude, I mean, yeah, we sent out the emails to the directors of Jesus Camp. That movie fucked us up. Let's just interview the directors now. They're like massive, huge movie makers that have won many awards, and they both seem like incredible
which is
artists.
Amazing. Because normally growing up...
I'd be scared shitless to interview him. So tell me, what is it like in Hollywood?
Yeah, totally. And normally growing up, anything that happened like, oh, this person did something with this Christian church, you'd be like, oh, what have they done? The one thing.
I think like it'd be interesting. Why did you do it? That's like, like as basic as it gets.
I know, dude. What if they were like, oh, we just funded it?
Yeah, no, they made it. I think they probably grew up in the church.
How funny would that be, though?
It would be funny.
If we get them on the podcast and they're just like, we funded it.
What do you mean they funded it?
Like they just produced it. They didn't direct it.
They did it. We know they did. They have their own company.
That'd be sick if they're from the church.
Anyways, so that was something that happened. But in today's episode, we're just hanging out. It's a really busy life out there for us. Well, I guess some of us
went from so busy to too much time.
Yeah, which we have talked about on this podcast a lot. Was your transition into the workman's comp. So let's start off today's episode, the real conversation, checking in with Zach. And this is the segment that we like to call Updates with Zorn.
Oh, okay.
This is Updates with Zorn.
Mm-hmm.
So Zorn, how was your back? What's it like being on workman's comp?
It's not workman's comp, it's disability.
Okay, sorry, disability.
It sucks because you don't really ever get on it. I've been waiting to get contacted from disabilities.
What does that mean you don't ever get on it?
You just send off the forms, then it's a waiting game. I've looked online. It can happen anywhere between you get contacted within 2 weeks to 6 months before you get paid.
6 months to what? 3 weeks to 6 months?
2 weeks to 6 months.
That's a crazy window.
Welcome to the U.S. government, baby.
You know me.
Yeah.
You know I get it. But still, 2 weeks to 6 months, that's like we don't know for sure if you're ever going to get paid.
By the time I can get retro pay is the thing.
By the time you do get paid, you won't need it anymore because you'll probably have your other
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll just have some extra cash.
Well, I need to make the money back that I'm losing now.
Interesting.
But either way, so it's incredibly stressful.
So you're living off of the podcast money right now?
No, we don't make anything off this podcast.
That's a joke. That's a sad joke.
That was a really good joke.
It's not really
I just been putting everything on the company card.
I know it's a joke, but it's not that funny.
It's so funny, actually.
How have I guess if y'all that are listening right now have social media, you can go follow Zach's music because it's a huge part of his passion project, which we were going to talk some more about what it's like for us having passion projects because we give a lot of our time right now to them. And this is part of it, the passion projects. But you've been posting more like acoustic guitar music, singer-songwriter, old Zachary Blostone stuff.
I've been posting more?
Haven't you?
Mm-mm.
Whoa.
What did I post?
So we have a relationship with our parents. Mom told me that you've been posting more.
What did you
posted
say?
Something on Instagram.
Did you see it?
See, this is why are you asking me questions like this? We're on air right now. You're like,
oh, I want to know. Did you see it?
We're supposed to have a conversation.
Did you see it?
Are we having a conversation?
I just want to know if you follow me.
No, I did not.
All right, so Nathan's not one of my fans.
No, but just have a conversation.
I just want my
dude.
fans to know this is not what a fan does.
Or you just want to be on camera right now to be like,
no,
mysterious?
Dude, I've just been trying to fill my days.
That's what I'm saying. Is you're recording music.
My first week of disability was heavily focused on me trying to get work right away. And that's really, 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 really time consuming and difficult from a computer. And so trying to get into freelancer life has been incredibly difficult. But then this last week, because this is the end of week 2, this last week has been, I'm not happy doing that right now because I'm in pain and I need to be on disability and healing and also trying to stay sane because I'm not working anymore. And so I have too much free time when I can't do a lot. And it's like, I'll go have a healthy lifestyle. I'll go to the gym. I can't go to the gym. There's things I can't do. So it's trying to keep my head straight. And so I've been doing a lot more like I'm trying to set days aside where I'm like recording a song or like there's been a lot of acoustic music I've been wanting to record. And now it seems like a great time to have all this free time to record.
Right.
Because recording is such a pain in the ass, especially if you are nitpicky like me and need the perfect sound. And have just been having battles with that. But it's been this last week has been tough and it's just not getting easier. But we don't need to talk. I don't want to talk about me. You did a whole interview on me.
I love it. I'm getting better at this.
Yeah.
I want to ask you questions about your experience of your life.
That's my passion project. And so that's me trying to dive into my passion project so that I can kind of stay sane.
I heard a really good quote recently, or not a quote. It was, I think I was listening to some interview. And the gentleman I was listening to was saying how a balanced life for creative artists, which everybody can be creative. Everyone could be an artist, like benefiting from that type of medicine, right? By just engaging in art, whatever that is. But he was saying that if you have 1/3 of your life goes to work, which is where you make your money, which is like the need. We have to make money. It's the necessary evil, or it's not an evil, whatever. 1/3 goes to work. 1/3 goes to passion project or hobby, whatever that is. Passion project, we call it passion. And 1/3 goes to personal. So you got 1/3 to work, 1/3 to passion, 1/3 to personal.
And this is time or money? What are you doing?
Time.
Okay.
Because everything takes time.
For sure.
Not everything makes the same amount of money or costs the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of passions out there that are free. Typically, and there's a lot of passions out there that are really expensive. There's a lot of work out there that pays you jack shit that requires a lot of your time, and there's a lot of work out there that requires no time but a lot of money.
Yeah,
right. But all this is that really, when it comes to a balanced life, 1/3 to work, 1/3 to passion, 1/3 to personal. Personal is everything else besides so. What is passion? Passion's also work. You're just not making money in it.
Well, not everyone has passion. And I think that's a road to collapse at some point. I think passion in any form, I think everyone has passion for something, whether that be like as boring as I passionately love to read books. It's like, that's a passion. Some people are passionate in very specific things, whereas mine is music. Yours is music and now acting you're throwing in there.
That's right. Add more to it. Add.
Because the passion is you choosing to expand your life and you choosing to expand yourself and your spirit.
And something that you just kind of have to do, or something that just fulfills you, gives you purpose.
Yeah.
Why do it, And that's always a weird question.
Why not?
Exactly. It's just a weird, it makes sense to make money. So why are you doing your passion? Is it so that you can maybe switch your work money income to your passion, making money off of it income, right? It's
it depends. I mean, when you see people doing it and then yeah, it can kind of feel that way, but that's not why you do the passion.
Right.
You wouldn't do it. You would cap out at some point.
And passion doesn't have to be like performative art. It can be woodworking. It can be glass blowing. It can be flute playing, trumpet, anything that has to do with that creative outlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that flow. It's like I have to get up to go to work, but then I get off work at 5 p.m. and I go to the gym because that's personal, right? Gym is personal, like self-care. And then passion is like this other thing that requires mind power and requires you to be present and disciplined, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea of like passion is your passion is typically hard work
because it normally doesn't pay you.
It doesn't pay you, but it's also like whatever it is work. And that's like the same person that was talking about, I think it was the same person, was like saying the 1/3 work, 1/3 passion, 1/3 personal, was saying that like J.R.R. Tolkien, the gentleman that wrote Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
wrote the entire series in the middle of the night because he was a father and a family man. He was a professor too, so he was like a really brilliant professor. He'd teach all day and take care of his family at night, and then 1 a.m. and he'd go and start writing. And he loved. He would write. He would like so many nights. He would like write all night, never sleep, and then go and teach all day. Come home, maybe nap. Who knows? But like. So I've always like, as a kid growing up, it was like J.R.R. Tolkien is like a god, you know, he's like this, he feels like a god, you know, I don't know, he doesn't seem real, not a human, but he's just a person who also barely made ends meet most of his life. And then, you know, for months and months and months, years, wrote in the middle of the night when everyone else is asleep, right? It's like,
yeah, some people have that type of drive.
But I mean, a lot of people's stories are similar to that. Like, it's when do you work on your passion when you have to work 9 to 5, right? It's like,
yeah,
because anybody that we talk about for the most part that are in the public eye, that are doing creative things, are the 1%. All the other artists are the 99% that are like...
Well, I think there's a lot more people in trying to involve passion into their life than there were in the last generation.
You think so?
Oh, of course.
Really?
There's so many news articles I see about like Gen Z not wanting to work as much anymore, and the boomers hate it.
But millennials, the same. I think everyone wants to be famous, right? There's that. We've talked a lot about that in this podcast. Like,
yeah,
we've gone through that trap.
Social media culture has.
But I think that exactly.
Yeah,
everybody
if you can go viral and change your life,
right?
Like you could,
right? So there's like new avenues of fame. But I guess what I'm talking about is like the passion project, where you actually find something creative that doesn't. That hacks you so that you don't, like, it hacks your brain so that you don't, I don't want people to know about this. This is not about attention. This is about like how this is really hard and it's really daring and it's scary. And like, it's also really creative and it's requiring me to learn new things and stretch myself, and you build on it. So like, that's why like writing music is something we've done our whole lives. That just makes sense. It requires emotional feelings and love and like romance. It's like a romantic creative.
Making music
It's totally. So romantic. Acting is really romantic. And like directing, story writing, you know, like poetry. My fiance is a poet, writes poetry, and like how do you do it? You know, like, how do you find the time? And so right now you're in a position where your work life became so detrimental to your physical health, literally. You had to stop working. So your income is coming from a supportive place that you pay into every single paycheck.
A lot of money too. Yeah.
Right. So you're just getting a little bit of it back.
I'm basically just taking the money I put in back.
But a little bit, not much.
Not much.
They're like, and they govern it. They're like, yeah, we know you've given us.
And they tax it.
But you do get a little bit of that, which in your situation is going to help whenever it does come in.
Oh, dude, anything would help.
But right now you're living off savings.
Yeah.
And so there's this huge void of time and space.
Yeah.
And so that time and space, now that there's been enough of it, you have started to attempt recording more guitar again.
I need to fill my time.
So that's what it's all about, right? Yeah. It's like you have like, so like if there's been all this imbalance and you've been doing signs while you were working, but like there's something about you doing acoustic guitar and electric guitar and singer-songwriter.
I want to experiment a lot more with electric guitar. And I want to get better at making content. So that's what I posted, man. As I made the other day, I just sat up my guitar, turned on all the lights in my studio, set up our cameras that we bought in 4K, like put it in this, like I finally got like this angle that looked reasonably good. And then because we've edited so much here, I've learned a lot on Premiere, and I was like, I'm just going to make a short. And I ended up just posting a song that I wrote when I was 17. And it was a really cool post because it said I wrote this 13 years ago, never did anything with it. And it's just a killer verse or killer chorus that I've always loved, that I've still played till this day. And it's weird looking back to a song you wrote 13 years ago.
Yeah.
That still today is a banger.
You've been doing it for a while.
Oh, for sure. But brings me to another topic. There's this song that I wrote when I was 17, and it's on that first CD that you have. Very few people still have it. You have it. It's called 17 Years.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful little love song. And every once in a while I'll try to remember the lyrics, but it's so long ago, it's so tough. But I was playing it the other day, just like the intro part, and it's such a beautiful like intro to love song, written obviously by a 17-year-old. And then now I want to rewrite it and do the first half, that original song, but then do another half and have it be 31 years.
It reminds me of that song. I am 16 going on 17. I love.
What do you think about the what I just said?
Amazing.
Yeah, cool, right?
Yeah. It's a great idea.
Thanks. Man.
Writing a song about being 17 and then writing it again because you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
Being like, look at the past times.
Well, no, because I wrote it, it's like 17 years of life I've learned, just fall in love. That's like the message of the song. But then the second verse of the song is going to be 31 years of life, somehow writing in an artistic way, and then all there is.
Yeah, I have to re-listen to it, but I am joking with you. But yes, that's cute. It's corny, but corny sells. We know this.
I don't think it's corny at all. I think it's a beautiful mesh between two lives, dog.
But corny doesn't have to be a bad thing.
So define corny, because some of the best songs in the world that are brilliant are super corny.
Yes, that's why I'm saying. I think corny is a good thing, right?
Is it? Why is corny always
Why are you
feels...
this dude over here is interrogating me.
I'm just asking you a question, dog.
Is it? Passion projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Why have a passion project?
It's a beautiful idea.
In America, we really hold this huge value for making as much money as possible, having the most success as possible. And if you include a passion project, like a podcast that takes up huge parts of your week, acting that takes up so much of your week, none of them pay you. Why have them?
I mean, I think I'm still asking myself that question right now about the acting thing. Like, I think one of the things I'm experiencing with my passion project, which I think is a lot of different things, but like the one that's really taking me over right now, is everything that has to do like the history of acting, learning how to do it, the process of accepting it, the process of like creating a profile, a community. Is I think there's the writings on the sand, writings on this. That's another saying. What's that saying?
The writings in the sand?
Is it the writings on the wall?
Okay.
The writings on the wall. There's a lot of reasons that I'm going to say, which I think makes sense and are pretty obvious for why it's positive to do passion projects.
But why is it positive? What's why be a part of community? Why have to learn all this new stuff?
Yeah, I think that's why I was going to get at that. That there are those reasons, but one of the things that makes me feel really surreal still, that like is being finishing my first acting class this next week, is I've thought about doing this for a long time and just had no idea what it looked like. For years, this has been something that's been deep seated, like wanting to do acting or be more of an pursue that for fun, or as a hobby, and just never have. The moment that I sign up for one class in San Francisco and I just jump in, my whole life feels like it's changed a little bit from being in this community. Like my confidence level, the way I handle my personal stresses. And it's like I could have chosen anything, right? Like you can choose anything, and if you don't have the pressure of being successful in it, whatever that means, or like making money, I'm just going to take a class, or I'm just going to read a book. Right? That's the easiest way. Just read a book.
Do you think that's because it encourages neuroplasticity?
Oh, absolutely. That's 100% like, Huberman was here right now. He'd be like, oh, well, that's because neuroplasticity is,
I know, I love him.
all the cells are starting to form because when you put yourself under high stress, but you need lots of sleep.
When you wake up in the morning,
sleep.
There's one thing I can tell you. Wake up in the morning, go outside, look at the sun. If there's anything you could do.
Yeah.
Eat what you want, do what you want, don't get exercise, but just look at the sun in the morning.
I'm not going to say that marijuana is bad because I actually have nothing bad to say about it besides the fact that it ruins your sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Great. We need the sleep.
So anyways, like the acting thing specifically, like out of all the passion projects, like music was always my passion project.
Yeah.
Why did I change? Like for so long and on this podcast, since we started it, I've been writing new music for this podcast, like stretching myself. And every time it's been really hard to find like that feeling that like art is hard, passion projects are hard. So you have to want to do it. You have to have some sort of like push or drive, and you might not know why. And so music has been my drive for so long, and I've experienced a lot of defeat in music. And I also, as a kid, it started off as a passion, and then it turned into like a business, and then it turned into
a business that never paid.
But it did though. Like it paid. Like what I mean, it doesn't have to pay. It's like it just changed. It really evolved from being a passion to a business to a performative business to heartache and heartbreak to patching that back up to going back out there to do more music because it's a passion. But I was constantly fighting the tediousness of it, right? Like just like being more anxious about writing music than like not. And and so like the music and performative art has always been it for me. That's like a passion, performative art. And so when acting, like you just chose it, I was just like, had that conversation with Megan and it was like, I'm just going to jump in. And I jumped in. It was like, bam. Now you have all this really stressful, super hard work. And I was like faced with this question, like right away. I was faced with it before I even started. I was so scared. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it was like, I better stop asking why and start thinking, how can I get through this? Like, how can I get through this stress? Because it was so stressful and it still is. It's such high stress and high anxiety. And I think that's because I really care and I enjoy that place. And so acting specifically is like a lot of work, like learning characters, going deeper in yourself to like find those emotions and then memorizing crazy amounts of lines every day so that you don't have to think about them. You can just like perform this character.
Isn't that really difficult?
A lot of work
to, once you've memorized the lines so much, to be in character because you know what's coming next. Like if you, I was watching a movie the other night and I was thinking about being the actor, knowing that you're going to have to act surprised in 5 seconds. Right. But right now you're not. Yeah. So it's all acting. Yeah. Where you're trying to act normal, and they tell you something and you change your facial expressions and you have to act surprised. It's like, that is so difficult. How do you not overthink the 20 seconds leading up to what you're going to have to do before it has to happen? And then as it's happening, not be like overthinking. Because you're acting, you're just faking it the whole time.
Yes. This is why I love it.
Yes.
Because that's what requires so much practice. It's like, it's really hard. Yeah. That's the magic. The magic is not only in front of other people or in front of a camera and lights and all of the awkwardness. It's like, there's so many levels of being like, how about this? When you go up to hit a golf ball, you know how like when you hit the golf ball, you just go for it. Mm-hmm. But when you're learning and you're critiquing yourself and you're getting like better and better, there's so many little tiny things. How you're holding your hands, how the club goes up, how you come down to hit it. But the thing is like, when you golf, you can't think about all those things. Yeah. You just have to be like, clock, 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 and now we dance. Yeah. It's just one, and like the more and more you do it, the better and better and better and better. And so that's an example of how like you get better at your craft, little bits, and like
it's being in that like zone of action of doing it so many times that you've learned enough what it feels like to do it.
But there's so many little points to practice. But when it comes to performing it and doing the thing, it's like, stop thinking. It's like that Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where it's like, no, do less.
Yeah, do less.
No, do less.
You're doing too much.
No, you're doing too much.
Now you're not doing anything at all.
Now you're not doing. You got to do a little something. And that's how acting feels. That's how a lot of things feel. Where it's like you're doing too much, do less. But it's you have to try as hard as you can, but do less.
Yeah.
And that's the magic. That's what like you want to call the pocket. And there's so many arts and performative arts and sports, I feel like, where all of the practice and all of the hard work goes in for that tiny little bit about a minute, like little bit of time that's about performance. And so like what you're asking is like where I am starting to learn why like acting is so hard because of that reason. How do you, when you know what's coming, how do you still pretend? How do you get people to think that you have no idea what comes next? And baby, that's the magic of show business. That's film. That's what it is, right? It's that's how did that actor do that? They make me, why am I crying right now? How do they do? And that's the difference, is that you're not acting. The person who's on camera or in the theater, they're being it. Yeah. They're being the character that you're starting to believe is no longer the actor, but it's actually there, and it's eliciting some sort of reaction.
And you get more than one take most time.
For film, theater, no.
Yeah, theater, no, for sure. Theater's a whole different talent.
Yeah, film, and that's like, so this class I'm in is all about auditioning. So it's so intense because auditioning is mostly what actors have to do. I mean, maybe you land something, maybe you don't, but you go in for how many auditions before you land a role? Right, in something. So the actor's like an actual actor's life is auditioning, and you can be an amazing actor and just fuck up auditions and never get anything, right? Or you can be an amazing auditioner but not the greatest actor and be in a ton of stuff, because auditioning is its own beast, it's its own game. And so this class is all about auditioning, and there's like, and so finding this art form or this performative art form is like, it feels surprising, but it's not surprising for me and my, like, what I've been holding myself back from doing. And so now that I'm doing it, it feels right. It's just a lot more work and a lot scarier than I would have ever imagined. And so I've been faced with this question, like, why do this passion project that's literally keeping you from so much sleep at night some days and like causing you to stress about the project? And like,
well, I mean, I only ask because it brings up something I'm dealing with in my life right now, where it's hard as an American to do things that don't give you money.
Oh yeah.
And when you're making money on the side, when you're making money at a job that covers your bills, if you can find time and effort in the days off or the time off to do a passion project or something, it just feels good to spend your time doing that. Like you're not wasting your time.
So healthy.
But then when you take away the job, it's hard to be like, I'm going to do my passion project.
Because So let me ask you this, because you're talking about now thinking about your situation where we've lost like 1/3 of your life, let's say a lot more of your life than 1/3 is work, like most people.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is surviving, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's already imbalanced in nature. You have to be imbalanced to do passion projects.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people that are pursuing passion projects with the workload that they have to do, with the families of their personal lives and all these things, tend to be a little bit of the non-traditional types.
Yeah.
Right. And so wrestling with your art, like with how you're wrestling with it when you have the job. Now you're wrestling with doing it, like you're saying, without the job.
It's weird.
Is you're just a non-traditional person who has this part of your life that's dealing with the relationship of creative, performative art. And it's lonely, and you have to do it alone. And you have to do it like, you have to work hard at it. And if you don't put in enough time, you feel like you're not giving that area of your life that produces no money enough time.
Yeah.
And so I was actually going to get to that and talk about how, like, I imagine there is a lot of guilt at times, but my way of dealing with that would be like, right now you're in a time in your life where you're finding what this idea of work, you're needing to be more creative right now to figure out what your work is going to be. So you're almost kind of like meshing your art life with like being artistically creative to decide what you want to do hourly to make money. And so that's why you're talking about like going back to school. That's a very, academia is a creative thing. Learning is super artistic, right? And so you're kind of like meshing. It's still hard work, but you're meshing the two. And talk about neuroplasticity. The only thing you benefit from that is everything. And so, but I imagine right now you're like, I'm not working and I'm not making any money. So doing my guitar playing and singing or doing all this hard work recording when I should be figuring out my life.
Yeah, it's hard. It's so difficult.
You just got to do both. You just got to balance it. give both time, right?
But it's hard to know what work is.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah. Do you have any idea of where you're going, what you want to do?
I mean, I'm trying to do more freelance work online.
But like the next big thing.
Well, school.
So that's it, man. That's what
Exactly.
you gotta do.
Exactly. But there's still so much time until I can start school.
For how long?
I don't know. I'm meeting with a counselor on Friday.
So we can get an updates with Zorn come Friday.
Zorn's not going to school. Zach's going to school.
Zach's life. That's the update.
Nice.
You have updates with Zorn and Zach's life.
Nice.
Mine, we're not going to talk about me anymore. We don't do that anymore.
But you just did. I loved it. It was a great little segment.
Thank you. I am learning right now and asking myself that same question a lot. Why am I doing this new passion project? I miss writing music. I said that the last cast, I think. And sometimes I feel guilty that I'm like switching and then I sit down to edit the cast.
It's a new creative, man.
It's a new creative. And but the thing is, man, I'm starting to we have these cameras and we have this podcast. It would just be so fun to film our own short film. It'd be so fun.
We totally could. Why don't we?
Because I'm getting more I'm becoming more confident as an actor.
What would be the short film?
I don't know.
We should do one. I have a really good idea.
I think it'd be a good one of a kid that gets brought into a church, a young adult male that gets brought into a church and going through a hard, depressing time and feels like he realizes he's falling for a cult. And then it's him trying to,
get out.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a movie.
Well, we could do it in 5 minutes.
No, the short would be part 1 and whatever the short would be titled, but it would be about your life and everything. And it's just you drinking, you're sad, you're depressed, you just lost your wife, you just lost your kids, that you're just beat up. And then you show up outside this church kind of drunk and they swoo you in and you feel like you get saved. Cuts.
Wow.
Yeah, because then part 2 would be you being a Christian, and then part 3 would be you leaving the faith.
Whoa, people! This feels like a triple threat 3-part series.
Triple threat 3-part series. No, it'd be fun.
It's Left Behind, but it's found on top.
I think we should start nice. Left Behind on top.
It's
left on top.
Found to the side.
I think we
found
should do
in front.
A funny short, and it should be make a play on Joe Rogan, where we
my God, no.
It's a couple.
This feels like a great time to transition, don't you think?
No, we're not even actually at 40 because we had the 5-minute break.
What do you mean? It's fine. We leave it. Do a short cast today.
We did a short cast last time.
No, we didn't. We did a long cast last time.
I think we should go a tiny bit longer. It's not that long.
Well, then what do you want to talk about?
I was just about to bring it up and you cut me off.
Let's go.
We should do a short.
Oh, you want to talk about a fake short right now?
No, we made a Joe Rogan short on by episode 4 when we were those boys. That is still, every time I open up my phone on the Rush app, it always will be Joe Rogan short. And I'm the one thing we never posted.
Yeah, we never will.
No.
Never will.
For the right price, we would.
Nope. It's horrible. It's horrible.
We'll post it for the right price.
No, it's horrible.
It is pretty, what you like to say, cringe.
Do you have, Zach, do you have anything else you want to talk about with me today as your brother?
You're shutting down.
No, I'm not shutting down. I just want to talk about the next thing.
Oh,
bring it up.
Let's comment on Coachella. You haven't.
No, it's not Coachella.
Not Coachella. Frickin' everybody. Little confusey woozy over here.
Gotta keep this kid in check.
Let's comment on Burning Man.
Well, I didn't even know about it because I guess I live under a rock.
Yeah, I know. Right now, Burning Man. Right now, by the time this gets posted, hopefully they're out. But the 75,000 people that went to Burning Man got stuck out there because it rained. Never really rains in September. Sadly, where Burning Man happens and Coachella happens is in an old lake.
Is that right? Burning Man and Coachella happen in the same place? Because I thought Coachella, they're different. I thought
they're the same. Either way, Burning Man, it's 75,000 people in basically the bed of a dried up lake that's been dried up for many, many years. But climate change is happening, and it shouldn't be raining in September. And floods happened, flooded out all of the desert, and then made just this thick, feet deep mud that they can't get out of because none of their cars can drive on it. So they've been stuck out there, and now it's emergency, and the government's going in with helicopters and stuff like that. Hopefully.
Yeah, so and I had no idea, and I haven't even searched it up. So it's funny because it makes sense. We know a lot about Burning Man. I've never been. You've never been, right?
I've never been, and it's not like I wouldn't go. Burning Man's actually the only festival I probably would still go to.
Do you remember? It's not really a festival, right? It's 8 days or 7 days. It's like 70,000+ people. It's a small city.
They make a small city,
and you have to like have a club or a tribe. You have to provide something to the community.
Yeah.
And it's all about a barter system. And so you bring things in that you are going to be giving to others so that you can get things that you need. And there's a lot of drugs and there's a lot of famous people and like it's blown up. It all started out of San Francisco. So going to nursing school in San Francisco and living in San Francisco, while we came up with Blouse, I like met a lot of the original burners.
Yeah.
Like I think it's Robo Heart or whatever it is, that stage. There's like a famous stage that was built, some revolutionary sound and light thing. And I met like the owner, the guy that invented that at some underground house party thing that I went to when I first moved to San Francisco. And then when we were doing Blouse years into that era of life, the early 20s, we got offered to go and play at Burning Man. If you remember that, Blouse did, because it cost
someone had a stage at their
stage, and it cost. Normal Burning Man tickets are like, I'm sure they're really expensive now, but I think back then it was like $600 a person.
That's about what it is now. Still,
really, so it hasn't gone up. Maybe, I don't know. And we were
all, is the average.
We were all able to go for free, and it was all going to be, everything was going to be provided because we were going to be providing DJing for their stage like multiple times and nights and sets.
Would have been amazing. I was a little too young for it.
You were a little young, really young, and something came up. I think it was school or something was just like so hard to be like, wow, 8 days gone in the desert doing music. And of course it was one of those things where looking back, I don't
think it's 8 days.
It was 7 days. Yeah, 7 days in the desert. Burning Man is like a whole week.
Is it?
Sunday to Sunday. Yeah.
I thought it was just a weekend, no?
No. It's 7 days. And we didn't go. I wish we would have gone.
I mean, I was 19, right?
We should have done it.
I thought I was sick. Was I even... if it was a couple of years into Blouse, I must have... I don't know. That just sounded insane. Yeah.
I remember I even have... I'm sure I can still find the email that was like us telling them what we could offer their stage. Because somebody, like a friend of a friend, offered me, was like, hey, this is a contact. Let them know. And they listened to our music and they were like, yeah, we'd love to have you. And it was like, so cool. It was like, I remember feeling like so like, yes, dude, we got a free pass to Burning Man. And then it didn't work out. And then now the burners are drowning in quicksand. Sad.
Yeah. It is sad, and it's also just an interesting time to be going to Burning Man right now.
You know, it's like in the news too, how like there's so much talk about how at Taylor Swift concerts or Beyonce concerts or Travis Scott or who's the guy from One Direction? I always forget his name.
Yeah, no. Harry.
Watermelon Sugar. Hi.
Mr. Styles, dude.
Harry Styles is nearby venues or people that are nearby during a concert saying it feels like an earthquake. Because of how many people and how loud these concerts are.
That's Taylor Swift's.
But that's like a lot of concerts are starting to come back that way, like complaints going into cop stations or like whatever, where they're like, yeah, is there an earthquake? And it's like literally like, what? No, there's a Beyonce concert happening up the street. And I think that like that says a lot of just the level of people and technology and sound quality. And there are more people at these shows. And so... every year there's more people at Burning Man. That's just the reality. They're going to sell more tickets. It's the nature of the beast. So the fact that this is happening now is still like, there's a lot of people that are stuck.
Yeah, totally. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
80,000 people is...
That's 75.
That's a
75
lot
and
of
people like Diplo and Chris Rock are being filmed just barely getting out, you know, and it's like, oh, so there's still...
Didn't many you say people somebody
stuck.
Died?
Yeah, someone's died so far.
R.I.P.
And supposedly some people are breaking out with boils, and supposedly there's an Ebola outbreak.
Oh my gosh.
It's really bad.
Makes you want to go, doesn't it?
After this podcast, you should look up just one video so you could see why that would happen, because they've been in mud, like under some people that tented, all the tenters are legit living in mud. and they're getting boils because they're like stuck wet in mud.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's disgusting.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
I remember at Coachella when I went to Coachella the one time, because I've done a bunch of music festivals, but like tried one, then did one, and we camped at Coachella for 3 days, and it was like 100 degrees every day.
Couldn't do it.
7 a.m. it'd be 92 degrees, and you'd be like, oh my God, only porta potties. And then the porta potties had the hand washing stations that you would pump. Yeah. So it'd be like, okay, it's 92 degrees. I have about 20 minutes before it's 100 degrees. I have to go poop.
Oh my God.
So then there'd be lines.
And then the whole day is like about drinking, like doing drugs,
25 to 30 porta potties, like a line. And you're just like, you get in there, every day.
No, dude. What was the attraction to that? I was never attracted to that.
It's like you're either the viewer, the fan, the goer, the festival goer, or you're the performer.
Yeah.
Or you have money. If you have money, then you pay thousands of dollars to stay in hotels nearby that are like, what I'm saying? Like campers are the ones that are trying to save money and have an experience.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I wouldn't change it for the world, but like now it's like me and Megan did that whitewater rafting trip, and there was porta potties. That's what we had to use for one night. We had to use porta potties, and it was like a reminder, like that feeling of like waking up in the morning and being like, okay, I'm gonna go.
That's just like camping, dude.
Right? It's like I'm gonna go use the porta potty. It's like, and so when it's that hot in the desert, it's the same. The reason why I'm using that as an example is because all these burners are like drowning. Because it's like in the desert, things are different in the desert. We're in the forest, on the river. It's a little bit like the desert. Like there's no tree, no branches, no leaves. It's just desert. So when you get out of your tent, because you have to get out of your tent by 6:37 because it's 100 degrees in your tent because it's just sun. And everybody's out like...
Sounds like a really dangerous place to have a festival.
It is. I mean, people are passing out all the time. But I mean, that's part of it. It's part of the experience.
Right.
It's part of it.
Yeah,
all these burners are going to come out of it like, I feel my life changed after I got boils.
Probably, maybe. But you're the performer and you're the fan, because I'm the performer and I don't like going to shows. I don't like going to festivals. The only shows I've ever enjoyed are for performers that I admire enough to enjoy. But like, oh, there's a show happening. I don't care. I don't want to go.
Okay.
Because I'm the performer. I want to be on the stage.
Yeah.
You are the same way. You're the performer, but you also are the huge fan. You love going to everything.
I used to. Yeah. I used to go to everything, of course.
How was that?
Because I love to party, really.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also loved music. I mean, dance music. Come on. Like,
yeah.
I was a big fan. I was a raver.
Back in the early Blouse days, man, the reason why we got so many connects is because you were going to club after club.
I just loved clubbing. I loved DJs. I loved the culture. Always trying to talk to somebody, be like, yeah, I'm a DJ. Yeah, I'm a producer. Yeah, I'm a DJ. Yeah, I'm a producer. So don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. I got problems. Just kidding. That's not me.
That was spot on.
No, that was not spot on.
That was really good. His acting's getting so good, everybody.
Yeah, I have to do, speaking of acting, I have to do Death of a Salesman this Tuesday, my monologue.
Nice. You've been nervous about this one?
So nervous.
You're going to kill it, dude.
I should do it here. Zach hates the idea of me doing my like lines and monologue on our podcast. Like, this is our podcast. Keep your acting out of it.
You think you could do it?
I'd be really nervous, but I could do it. Yeah, I just don't think I'd do a good job.
Why don't you give it to me, Nate? Nathan has a monologue that he needs to do at his acting class on Tuesday.
I'm not going to do it right now.
And I think we should really challenge him.
Come on, don't make me do
to
this.
use his camera. We'll make a short of it. We'll make a clip out of it. And we'll post you all over the internet. Let's see how good you are, Nate.
You're such an asshole. Why
Nathan,
are you being like this?
Because you just said it out loud. You spoke it into existence. You want this.
I don't want this.
You want this.
No, I don't.
You want the practice.
I really don't. I really don't, because I'm nervous and I have to practice it more. And this isn't the right setting.
But you just said you should do it on here.
I don't think I would do a good job. I don't think I can do a job. I mean, I can try.
You want to try?
No.
You want to give it a shot?
Not really.
Because you want to know what's the worst thing that could happen? I won't make a clip about it.
I mean, you could make a clip out of it regardless and nobody would know the difference.
Yeah, no one would know the difference.
And I'd kill you.
Yeah. You think you could at least get through it? You know the lines well enough?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to let Nate do his little monologue here. He needs to practice for his acting class, and I think he's going to kill it. So, well, how about you give me the little chink? Come on, hand it over.
Are you serious?
We'll make it a thing.
This is not fun.
Next time, bring a ukulele. I'll play a song. All right, so this is Nate's, what's the monologue? Death of a Salesman?
I'll say it.
All right,
This is, hi, I'm Nathaniel Blostone. This is Biff from Death of a Salesman.
Take one.
Willie, I ran down 11 flights with a pen in my hand today, and suddenly I stopped. You hear me? And in the middle of that office building, do you hear this? I stopped in the middle of that building, and I saw the sky. I saw all the things I love in this world, the work and the food and time to sit and smoke. And I looked at that pen and said to myself, what the hell am I grabbing this for? Why am I trying to become something I don't want to be? What am I doing in an office making a contemptuous, begging fool of myself when all that I want is out there, waiting for me the minute I say I know who I am? Willie, why can't I say that, Pop? I'm a dime a dozen and so are you. I'm not a leader of men, Willie, and neither are you. You were never anything but a hardworking drummer who landed in the ash can like all the rest of them. I'm $1 an hour, Willie. I tried 7 states and couldn't raise it. $1 an hour. Do you gather my meaning? I'm not bringing home prizes anymore. And you're going to stop waiting for me to bring them home. I'm nothing. I'm nothing, Pop. Can't you understand that? There's no spite in it anymore. I'm just what I am. That's all. Will you let me go? For Christ's sake? Will you take that phony dream and burn it before something happens? Thank you.
Wow, very good. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. That is a very special take for you. Oh, wow. Laugh. You put laughter on the audio track.
Yeah, but it won't be on the actual podcast. That was very good, Nathan. That was, we're going to continue doing that for his really tough acting things because that looks good. That's going to make some good content. I'm really happy you did that.
That was hard.
That was good. What I'm going to do is we're going to pull it out a little bit and we're going to do a nice slow zoom as you're talking. So by the time it gets close, it's nice and tight.
You know, it's oh man, I'm like shaking. I'm so nervous.
That was good. That was super good.
So hard. Was it good? Was it all right?
That was good. Well, there's so what I'm starting to notice is this is obviously more of a Broadway type of
Well, yeah, this is written in the 40s.
Yeah, exactly. So like some of your emotions, they're expressed the way if it was filmed that way, you know, if it was filmed for this character. It would
be on stage.
Exactly. Very much more on stage, but you did very good.
And I pulled back so much because I'm going to have to be standing and jumping around the room and then I have to do it on camera like this. But this is the exact place that I want to film auditions. This is our podcast studio.
Yeah.
So if there was a way where I could set up the camera.
I think we should look into buying the wood and building our own little table.
Yeah.
Because that's what really we need is not these 2 janky tables, one big square table.
We're going to have to make some adjustments.
Even if it was smaller so that when we do have guests, we could have someone sitting there and someone sitting here. So we could have 2 guests that way. I think it'd like a nice little small square that stopped right where your hand is would be perfect.
We'll figure it out.
But I think we should build it.
I'm still coming off the high of that monologue.
Sorry, I'm just talking. I would be too. Thanks for doing that. I don't know what this fruit fly is doing.
It's okay. Let's move on. Thank you for that. That was a lot. I actually teared up for you there a little bit. And let's call it. We are going to the...
Going to the game cam.
It's the game.
That's a good one. Welcome to the game cam, everybody.
We are doing Mario Kart as we have done for weeks and weeks and weeks. Do you remember what we are doing right now?
Yeah.
It's It's not Block Fort. It's the next one.
We had such a good. I can't wait to edit it on episode 50.
And we are doing Mario Kart because we believe in connecting with our inner child to heal and rejuvenate. And so that's what we do as kids is we do rejuvenate here. You're going to do Peach? Luigi. Okay. So we're on 4.0.
We are going through the 4.0s.
So we did block run double deck 4.0.
Yep. Nate won Big Donut 4.0. I won Block 4.0.
Yes,
so
you did.
We are on a little tiebreaker here.
And that was a crazy game last time.
That was the longest one yet.
It was very long. And we're not wanting things to be like overly...
Oh, wow. Nate's coming out with a vengeance today.
We don't want things to be too long. You just took my star. I wanted that so bad.
I know it's just...
Oh no.
Oh, I should have got you.
Come here. Oh! You're right at the remainder. Oh, no. I'm out. Gotta go, baby. See you later. We got green shells everywhere. Okay. Gotta go.
Come on, get the check mark, dude.
We're gonna go to a higher level. What's up with the stars?
Look up to the stars.
Oh my gosh. Are you singing a hot play?
No, I'm singing that one song we never released. Look up to the stars.
Oh,
Tell me what you see.
That was a good song.
Tell me what you feel. I still have the file of it in my Dropbox or on my cloud, and I listened to it the other day, and it was really good.
It's a great song.
I was like, yeah, we've never finished it, and this would have been a perfect COVID song. We always miss out on opportunity because we don't trust ourselves.
Well, now, but that's the whole podcast we just had, man, is that we're still pursuing our passion projects. We're just finding ways to doing the passion projects to make us happy.
Oh, dude. Must suck.
No! What are you doing?
Son of a monkey. Yeah, you get me with that bomb,
Come
dude.
here. Let me show you a little something.
It's so hard to avoid the green shells once you start looking at them.
Come here.
You come here.
Yes.
Oh, you got me with hitting me.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, dude. Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Goodness.
That was crazy. That was a little crazy. No! How did you hit that? You're a real punk.
I'm a real punk, dude. Biggest punk I know.
Oh, green shell almost took me out.
Made in the snow.
This is it, Zach. You're going down. This is it. This is the end of match 1. You know it's true. Oh!
Nate just took a hit.
Rogue green.
Wow.
And I had 3. So that's like very rare.
I thought you were about to beat me, but I guess not.
But that's like a rare thing. That's not you. That's just you got lucky.
You take on a lot of bananas and rogue shells.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I learned how to talk just recently. Something new I'm working on. Coming up. You know.
I think what I was originally saying was that this podcast studio that we have built, which we have talked a lot about wanting to clean up, revamp, change the walls behind us, get a new table. It's nice timing because the whole point of like modern acting is doing auditions from your house, and they call them, tapes or whatever, and audition tapes, and you send in tapes. And so you record yourself at home. That's what makes it that's what's also hard about it, is you have to be motivated to do your own auditioning at your house. And
if you already have this camera and all this stuff.
Exactly. We have all the setup, and now we can get it all set up.
Goodness, dude. Can we just like battle off? Ooh. what a little move.
Man, I thought I had you. Whoa, that was creepy.
There was some up
a
there.
little scary. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Now this one's taking a little longer because green shells on the bottom floor. That's scary. Okay, you're coming for me down here. I better get something now.
Coming for your heart, dude.
Ooh, 2 ghosts. 2 ghosts.
Just 2 ghosts hanging out. Hey guys, we're just 2 ghosts hanging out. Oh, thanks for the star.
You're welcome. I didn't want it anyways. You can have it. Not much talking going on right now.
No, we are lost in the sauce. That's what happens when you get lost in the sauce here on the Mortal Kombat podcast. I took your banana.
That's why you better be watching it or else it's not exciting. Just the truth.
I've also made the clips since I've been on disability. Oh no, I glitched out right there for a second. Oh, you were up top? I thought you were down below. Tricky. I made the clips a little easier to watch too. I don't just straight leave them unedited like I've been doing. I've been turning the long content into better long content because I'm posting all the long content on TikTok now.
Oh, goodness.
I did that to myself, dude.
Yes.
No, dude, your star lasted forever. All right. I didn't even get you once that one.
I had to win that one, so that's why I wasn't talking as much.
Okay.
Be more performative. Anyways, if you're listening to that music in the background, because you have to, because you're listening, you're watching, it's Nene from the Bay.
That's him.
That's me. That's the music.
Going so hot, dude. Oh, dude. I just keep taking out your stuff.
Straight panic mode.
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. I got nothing from that.
I got nothing. Here I come. I'm coming for you. Hello, my little boy.
There's a fly.
No. How did I miss? I had it. I was got you. What did I miss?
Oh my gosh, rogue green shell coming at me hot.
Yes. Here we go. This is it. This is when you... it's really hard to talk this episode while we're playing. I think it's because the last one was so intense. I've actually been thinking about this game.
Yeah, me too.
Not wanting to lose.
I know, but you keep getting these like perfect green
If we were
circles.
just Twitch streamers, we wouldn't have to talk all the time, right?
No, it's just Twitch streamers get really good at talking as they play.
Oh, yeah, I guess we're not that great. We're not like pros. Yes, come here. Yes. Really? Oh!
Dang it! Son of a monkey biscuit.
Why did I do that? I hate how there's a lot of panic moves that are made in this game.
Oh my gosh, so many panic moves.
So many
panic moves, baby.
Panic move. Come here.
It's about.
Why are you ghost again, dude?
I like ghosting you, man.
Get over here.
No, you.
No. Yes.
Dude, dodge.
Come on.
Dodge.
What the
We're trying way too hard. These games last way too long now.
Stressed out right now. I'm just stressed out right now.
Yeah, just take it.
Yes. All right, here we go. It's over.
No! You got me!
That was really intense.
That was another good one, dude. We're getting some good ones.
I mean, it is. It feels like the whole time I'm like, we should probably be talking a little bit more, but it's just really intense on the inside for me.
The clips are more engaging.
I needed that win. I needed that win.
Totally. You did need that win, dude. You needed it so bad.
I feel like because I did the monologue, I deserved that too. Like I was in the headspace.
You were. It woke you up.
Yeah. That was great.
That was great. Hey, good job, dude. You won.
Echo. Garage on.
You're not a drummer today.
I won.
You're an actor now.
This was a chill episode. I love it. The sun's still out. The skies are blue. We hope that if you are in Burning Man right now, by the time this posts, you're going to be fine probably.
Hopefully.
We're so sorry.
It would really suck if, they weren't.
I guess Melting Man. Drowning Man.
Drowning Man.
This year it's Drowning Man.
Muddy Man.
Too soon? Maybe we'll get in trouble for being so rude so soon.
No, there's people saying way worse things, dude.
Drowning Man. Like all the Christians, evangelical Christians. Finally, God!
No.
Smite down! Those evil festival goers.
No, not even that.
No, okay.
I'll send you a video you can watch. Alex made me watch the whole thing yesterday, and it's basically like this guy that's really popular on TikTok just screaming the whole time about how ridiculous it is that 75,000 like rich privileged people are poorly all like, yeah, it just goes into it. Really funny.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'll
sounds
send it to you.
great. I love you, man.
Love
And
you.
have a great week.
Yeah, I will.
Good luck with everything.
Thanks.
And more updates next weekend.
Let's build this table. We're gonna build a table.
We're gonna build a table. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
And you.
See you next week.
Bye.